So right now we're coming to you from two of our finalists from Brownstown. You guys are 48 hours from like right now almost. You'll be pretty much getting ready to hit the turf.
Mm-hmm. This week's going by so fast. It is like flying by. Last week and the weeks before were so slow, and this week is like flying by.
Like it's Wednesday tomorrow.
It is Wednesday. Is tonight your last workout before Thursday? Or are you guys going to work out tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't think I coach.
I'm working out after this, and then I'm done.
Yeah, I coach tomorrow. I'll do a little bit here and there of like demoing, but nothing too hard. I don't want to be sore. I don't want to not be able to do anything on Thursday.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So tell me what it's like. Like I know it's Jessica, it's your second time. Have you made finals before? So you were 2019 or was it 20? That was 19. So tell me how this year's different from 2019 and trying to get to the finals.
Oh, we had a difficult time.
Let's do that. Okay.
I mean, we started out like at the bottom of the bottom. We had a rough trials. I didn't even think we were going to get this far, to be honest with you, but we pulled through. Compared to last one and because 2019, I mean, my partners have all stopped coming here, so I had to find a new one. So
it's hard.
But Sam has been great, and it's been a hell of a ride going through this with him. But we're gonna come out.
You've got a great, energy at Brownstown, and you guys also have like the most members of any of the turfs. It must have been pretty tough going head to head against a lot of like your turf mates. What kind of there's probably no trash talking per se, but it's probably is it more positive or how was it cutthroat?
It's been positive. I mean, I luckily haven't had to go up against anyone from our team.
Either have I.
Since until now.
We have not had. We've been up against Harrison and St. Clair Shores the entire time.
Yeah, I had a St. Clair Shores team too. Yeah, I think we went through Shelby, St. Clair Shores, and then Harrison, if I remember in order correctly. But no Brownstown yet. So this is
the only Brownstown team I was up against was Todd and Sarah for the round 4, because if we would have lost, they would have made it with their points.
Yep.
That's what I was actually just going to look at. So
that was the only competition we had with Brownstown was this last past round.
Yeah.
So we have 4 teams in this. The 2 teams from Brownstown were the ones that made the head-to-head, like won the head-to-head, and then Harrison was points. So.
Yeah, they have so many points. So many points.
Sam and I were negative this entire round till like round 3.
I noticed that, but you got the right matchups, or the seasonality of Harrison, where they go from like having the sticky turf in the summer and the fall, and then when they get the crisp turf, it usually lends to their favor. Right. Being a little bit slicker. So do you guys have any like superstitions or rituals that you do before your workouts?
I have spaghetti. I eat spaghetti every single night before. That has been my ritual since like years ago when Todd and I were partners. That is like I have to. And other than that, like nothing crazy. Just I gotta have my spaghetti. And my daughter, like, when she knows it's the night before finals night, she does not like spaghetti. And she's like, oh, so I'll make her a separate meal.
That's funny. What about you?
Me, on the other hand, I don't do much. I have a crazy work schedule. I just flew home from Vegas and ran that round. And I just randomly pop in here when it's time to go.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's
so you're coming at 2 different aspects over here,
right? Have a different partner this year. And Caitlin, I know you've gone with like Todd a couple times, right?
Yeah. Yep. I think we 3 times. And then Adri's like, I wasn't even going to, and she talked me into it. She's like, come on, Caitlin, please. It'll be so much fun. And now here we are, like going to the finals. So
there you go. Pretty cool. Who is Todd with this year?
Her name's Sarah. She's a newer junkie. She started with us in
August. Like 6 months, I don't think.
Yeah,
it's been like she's real new.
And she's good. I mean,
she is good.
Her endurance, as soon as she learned all the tasks, I mean, she started flying, and her goal was to finish a board, and she did. And then from that point on, she's been on fire.
I've noticed that, not to get too off on a tangent, but when people finish their first board, it usually seems like it accelerates them to a different
For
level.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So what's it like if you're comparing and contrasting your partners? What do you think it's required for you to have like a perfect March Mayhem partner?
You want to go first?
You can go.
Okay. So I learned when I was partners with Todd that like you can't be partners with someone who likes all of the same tasks that you like, because then when you're butted up against like two different things and you both like the same task, then that person just, it's difficult. So we're complete opposites. She likes everything like standing up. She likes strength tasks with like the plate. And I love to crawl and I love to plate push, which are two of her things that she doesn't really like. So that was like the one thing that made her like seek me out. And then we just like whatever. Jen had really good advice. She said, pick the task for your partner that's whoever's going to get through it faster. And, it might not be one that you both like, but just whoever is going to do it faster, because I mean, time is of the essence when you're doing these tasks, and you can't get held up in like one area too long when you know that there's something even more challenging or difficult, like coming up down the road. And like, we were breaking stuff down, like how many minutes is this going to take us? And like timing ourselves when we were working out, like, okay, you can do this faster. You do this. I mean, we got all into it this time.
I think that is actually probably the most critical thing, is to actually study it more than any workout we do in Cyphus. March Mayhem really pulls out the actual like strategy and sport out of the workout, I think. And you can also figure out, if you're doing the head-to-head part, like, okay, where's our opponent's probably going to get, okay, where do we need to get to,
Oh yeah.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah. I mean, like I'll have to have Adri bring her sheets with her, but she went all crazy, and like every trial score, round 1, round 2, what task our opponents finished on, what, their score was, what their plus was, compared it to ours. And like, we did a whole huge one. Then my husband and I compared it to everybody. And it all seemed like all these teams that are in the finals, they all like ended around the same task, like each round. It was crazy. Like, it was a really good pairing.
Sam sent me a novel the other day, like all the stats and possibilities and what we need to do. He controls our board right now, so he does it all.
Go with what he says.
I think that's the way to do it. I mean, other than you, Jessica, just show up and play. But like, I think the real Cyphus geek kind of has an advantage. And Caitlin, like you said too, when I was going with Kathy, I've told people that you need to find the perfect Lego piece, like the person that is like the yin to your yang, someone that can do the stuff that you don't want to do.
Right.
And communication is huge too.
I think both of our teams are that yin and that yang, because he's, I mean, like she was saying, like Adri's all about the strength tasks. He'll do them like on a regular board, but when it's fighting for time, and he has a 45-pound plate trying to do 72 halos, oh, who's doing that. So
right.
It just matches up. And also, I think having a guy could be a little bit of an advantage for sure. So
I definitely could have used a guy when it came to doing gators after like jackass and oh my gosh, that round 3 was brutal.
I think male-female teams do have a better like mesh. There's most.
But look at Kate and Adri.
I know.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
I
but everybody else is male and female though. We're the only like girl duo. So
that's
cool.
We'll
see.
And I'm really glad that there's like a double pro team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That'll be cool to see. I was going to ask you if you guys have studied so much, or maybe Caitlin and Sam have. Do you know how far you think that like Jessica needs to get, and how far you need to get to beat her?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you what you think they're going to get to, but I was just wondering if you're doing your own scouting report on your turf mate. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, we got to go into it prepared. We got to know like what they've been doing, what we've been doing, and what's going to work for us. So We always have like a goal set in mind, and then we never go through and pick all the tasks out like for the entire workout, because I know we're not going to finish it. But we'll pick where our goal is, and then we go about 4 to 5 extra like after that. And then if we get to that point, then we are like, okay, it doesn't matter at that point. We're just going to figure it out on the whim and just go for it.
Yeah. I think there's some that it's important to do that. Just say like, okay, that's going to be a game time decision based on how we're feeling.
Yeah, for sure. And we did do that this last round. I can't even remember what it was after. Oh, it was after Prowler and Tweaker. I told her, I said, if I'm feeling good and I'm like, just cruising on those bears, then let me take the 2 bears after it. But I got like to the end of my Prowlers and I'm like, nope, I can't do it. You got to do them. And we switched it out there.
I had to do all those bears.
Yeah,
both Prowler and bear.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, for sure.
So 6 o'clock, right, is tip off. I wanted to show you what I got for it.
Oh, we like your hoodie.
I know. I
That's
like that.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, this is form first. So I got this.
Oh, cool. You're gonna look like
I feel like I'm a football coach, but yeah, what I'm gonna attempt to do is be on the turf and kind of give like the people who are watching, because I'm going to record it, hopefully live stream it, just kind of like insight as to what I see. Hopefully mostly good, but if there's something that I can maybe point out, critique, I could also show that as well. But so so the viewers can see like what it's like from the pros viewpoint too. So it should be a unique perspective, and with 8 people going at one time,
it's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Like we're excited.
Yeah, there's gonna be so much energy. We're expecting no less than 50 people out on the sidelines watching.
Just from Brownstown.
Yeah, I was saying, I bet there's gonna.
That doesn't even include everybody else. So it's gonna be wild. I mean, we're expecting people to be like tailgating out in the parking lot, like watching us through the windows.
I was gonna say you're gonna exceed the max capacity in that place.
I know, right? Don't call the fire marshal on us.
I won't. We should start selling tickets.
I know. Oh, I mean, can you imagine if we were able to do that in the following year?
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, you put like a bug in my husband's ear and he will figure out a way to help us blow this out, because he's just been like super excited and like supportive. And he's like, you guys need to do this and you need to do this. And it's cool to have like that family like support at the same time. So,
and the vibe, the energy with our turf family over here is just awesome.
Yeah,
it is the best. We have fans after each round for everybody.
That's for sure. Cool. And that is your 6th man, if you will, the energy you need to push to the finals, I'm sure.
Right.
For sure.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here because I have an interview with Tim, and I'm going to see what his take is on your opponents. So
awesome.
I want to wish you guys the best of luck, and I'm going to see you Thursday.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, man, it's forever since I feel like I've talked to you somewhat face to face.
Yeah, somewhat face to face, huh?
Yeah. So I just got off the phone with the girls in Brownstown, and we got Mayhem 48 hours away from right now, and so I'm just kind of getting a feel for them. And since you've got a different perspective, I thought I connect with you and see what you like, how you feel about your competitors. They're both coming out of Harrison Township. Like what makes them good teams, you think?
Well, it's funny because Mike actually has competed before. Well, they've all competed before. Well, except with the exception of one of them. But Mike has actually been a champion before. He's won it before, actually at Brownstown. And he likes to compete every year. And he actually had to find a partner last minute because his partner that he won with before just wasn't up to. He had taken some time off, wasn't up to Cypher's shape to do it this year. So Mike actually pulled in a person that he actually works out with quite a bit, kind of an unlikely team, and he's helped push her. They both, which I think makes them a good team, because they both hit peaks like 3 workouts in a row.
Oh, wow.
First time ever. I mean, this is they're a lower scoring team, but they both hit 600 for the first time like 3 times during this competition.
Yeah, and that's because I'm looking at right now that like his 22 boulders or
Yeah.
hers. I'm sorry, this is like 5:21. Yeah, man, he crushed it.
I mean, he's got like a career bull. He's one of those guys that I'm talking like beyond form first. Where if he does I think when I started, a stationary mogul was, jump the width of the plate, right? 45.
Right.
He does like two 45s wide in his mogul, and he does that with everything. So
Yeah.
he's always like, but he's a fireman. He always cares about just the workout. So he's always super form first guy. So when he really wants to compete, he goes into a different level, and it's like, so it's kind of weird. Everyone thinks he sandbags. No, he just comes in, does his workout. He's not there for a score. He just comes in to get the best workout he can. But when it gets to competition time, he wants to compete. And
I think that's the way to do it.
And he's gotten Angela, who, if you see Angela, Mike's like 6'2", probably 200 pounds, big, strong guy. He's got giant legs. And you see Angela, who's like a tiny little person, like 5 foot, like 100 pounds, like a former gymnast or something. And she looks really meek. And I haven't seen them work out. Janelle has, but
you've never seen them work out together?
Not in the competition. I've seen them both work out, but not in the competition. So they're a great team. I mean, it's working out for them. I mean,
that's exactly what the girls and I were just talking about, how a lot of times like you want the opposite of what your yeah, for sure. And it sounds like if you got someone who's 6'5" and one that's 5 foot, I mean, that could play to your
it's such a weird combination with those two, but it's worked out, and my other team was a team 2 years ago when we had COVID, the year that we had to stop the whole competition. And they've wanted this ever since then. I think we had 4 of the final 8 teams that year, and then we got it canceled. And they were a team in that competition then. And they've kind of always thought they had kind of unfinished business.
Sure.
They were close to making the finals just straight up, but they, again, they just the numbers didn't work out. But they both of those teams had such a high over. Again, both like to compete, but they both were able to work together. And that, I knew the other team was going to be good because they were good 2 years ago. I think they were probably just as good, if not even better, 2 years ago. And they just always felt like they needed to come back to it and do it again. And last year, actually, my pro Amy had a different partner. She was partnered with Ray, the guy who went against you in the finals, because her partner this year was left Cyprus for about a year, had a baby, came back, and he came back specifically to come back to do this competition.
Did he really?
Literally said, I'm going to come back and get back into March Mayhem and make Amy be my partner again, so we can win it. So
that's awesome. I don't think I've ever met Corey. I'm looking at a picture of him right now. It looks pretty fit.
Yeah, well, he's kind of like Meredith. He's a sub 130 half marathon runner. He can run like a 125 half marathon. He's a great conditioned guy.
Yeah.
So he comes back, and Amy's just, Amy's got great form. She's super strong. Amy's one of those like a total workout nut where she works out like 2-3 times a day, and she's a super strong person. So they really complement each other well. He's the guy who can do the cardio stuff,
right? And
they both have good form, but Amy's a very strong, just generally physically strong person. So she's super tough, and with a 25, it's pretty stupid, because Amy's just strong,
hiking it in two.
Yeah, people like that. Yeah, exactly. Hiking, big hikes, big spikes, everything. So, she's again one of those people that use the 35 a lot, but for the competition, she used a 25. Where me and my partner used a 35.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Been a long time.
That's what he was saying.
Been a while. Yeah.
So, like me and my partner, she used a 35 just so our averages make more sense. But Amy's, that team, they're both like plus 200. Well, I think Amy's dropped before she went on vacation, but from the final 4. But Mike's gone up. I think Mike has only been under average in March Mayhem, and the entire time he's competed once under average in any workout.
Really?
If you look back at over the years since he started competing, I think they're not their last workout they were over average, but the one before that, I think the final 8 they were under. But I think that was the only time he's ever been under average in a March Mayhem workout.
Well, and so that brings me to my next question: is both your representatives were they got the point overall points to get into the finals.
Yes.
How do you think this year's format's shaping up? Do you think it?
No, to be honest, I had a chance to make the finals because of it. We had our last couple workouts we were under. But I actually thought that we would, me and Janelle were obviously hoping to beat 3 of the 4 teams in the finals because we could have done it, but we just didn't show up enough. But at the end, I actually like the format. I think I think the average going up so much every round is kind of tough. But I started with a 700 average, and by the last round I was at 822. And not saying that I can't get to that, but I'm not to the same level I was 5 years ago.
Right.
And the 822s, except for a certain workout that's just right for me, I'm not hitting 800 every workout now.
Think about those ones that are like 1,000, like the Leahs.
It's like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So it's just ridiculous that I think about, those kind of scores. Like Ryan, our pro who won it last year, his average this year with his partner was 1056 or something. So it's like, again, those averages make no sense to me. Is how they keep ramping up. You have 1,100 point average. You got to finish the workout with 45 minutes left just to get average. It doesn't make sense. So, but I do like the point aspect. I think it does it gives you at least another chance to get into the finals. Granted, from the beginning, if you drop ton, if you're under by 500, 200 points, it's hard to catch up. But I think it does kind of make it a little bit more fun. And I think every matchup has been really good, especially towards the end from like the 16 down, because every time it's like someone wins, it's minus 31 to minus 19 or plus 15 to, average. So they're all really close. There's no big giant blowouts.
Right.
But I do kind of like that this year. So I think moving forward, I think it's a good way to do it. We've been
more engaged too.
Yeah, more engaged. Exactly. Like I said, we were hoping to still be able to be at the end because, we were close enough. I think we ended up with the, fourth or fifth highest over. So, I'll take it, because we were close.
Yeah.
So it gives me more incentive to keep going. And now that I'm 50, do I want to keep doing it?
Yeah, man. That's good. Do you guys have a lot of people coming down to watch on Thursday?
I know I'm going to come, of course. I think Janelle's coming. I think Jessica, one of our members who was partnered with Ryan Zemla. I'm not sure how many people, but I'm sure we'll have 5 or 6. I don't know how many junkies are coming. I definitely know pros will be coming.
Right.
But I'm not sure about how many actual members will be coming. But I was planning on coming because Todd originally had actually asked 2 of our teams to come work out the hour before.
Oh.
So he wanted me and Janelle to come work out, and Ryan and his partner Jessica to come as like our top teams out of the bracket.
Yeah.
But I guess some of the Brownstown teams didn't want all of our sweat on the turf before they worked out.
Oh, that makes it funny.
Which I get, but they don't have to do the same conditions. It was going to be Todd too. So it was going to be Todd and his partner because they were high. They were just above us, and it was going to be Leah and her partner. So it was going to have Todd and Leah. And versus me, or
like an opening card,
like an exhibition run,
Right. And it's funny. I asked them. I was like, "Can you guys please turn on the air conditioning because it gets so hot and humid in there when they have all the bodies that they do?" And Caitlin's like, "Yeah, I'll make sure we do that," because I was gonna say it's gonna be like the swamp in there. So maybe you guys.
Yeah, they were talking about having the air on today for sure. So yeah, it was. I saw that we had in our chat there, so make sure you turn the air on. So I get the whole thing with the sweat. I sweat a ton, so I don't. I get it. I don't know. I wanted to work out, but I'll just go down there and watch the show and go from there. So
they're definitely going to have a home field advantage for their junkies for sure.
Yeah. Well, last year, we had that home field because we moved it to our turf last year. The conditions were horrible in the morning. We had to turn the heat on just to kill. I mean, it was like a 65% humidity in there, which is super bad for us. Janelle was able to somehow get it down to like 38% by running the heat and trying to dry it out. But yeah, I remember actually speaking to Carlene during the workout, and she's like, "Is it like this all the time in here?" I'm thinking, this is just March, man.
Yeah.
Give me 3 months. You got nothing going on. I mean, it was still a great final because they were so close. And that's one thing I like about this final is that aside from Mike's team, which their boulders so much lower, that the other 3 teams, Amy's team all the way up to Jessica's team, they're within like 50 points.
Yeah, it's going to be
you watch those 3 teams. If my team can stay within 2 tasks of them, which they easily could do, 2 or 3 tasks, they can win. And
it's like a race that we can actually watch instead of having like 2 like totally different boulders.
Exactly. Where you're like, where are they at? Where are they at?
Right.
I mean, Mike will be going along his way over there, 200-300 points behind, or 250, whatever it is. But it'll be fun being able to see the other 3 teams kind of going head to head a little bit more, and that's kind of what it was like the finals last year because Ryan and Ryan's team and Carlene's team were, I think they were like 50 points apart last year, but they were all 1,000-point scores. So,
Yeah.
again, it was still a little bit closer. We were able to watch, how much closer it was, or anyway.
I'm glad I just remembered this. So now, since I have you on the camera, what's the story behind the missing trophy?
Oh, well, we had the trophy, right? I don't know whoever found the original trophy. Was it you or Todd? Whoever found it. I remember we had the original trophy.
Someone had it and they painted it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't have it originally when it first started. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. It might have been the first year that Todd won. It was the year you had it when Royal Oak opened. I think was when that was the year he was. So anyway, because of our firemen, Mike and John, when they won it in Brownstown, they were always talking about how they were the champs. They hung out with the Brownstown people after party. They come home with the trophy. And so every time they worked out, they would have it on the turf. They literally put it on the turf next to them. And they would put it in the middle of the turf, or they put it on a plate and push it. And one day something happened. I don't think I was there. I think Janelle was there. And they hit it with a plate or something, and it
hiked it into it or something.
Or they had it, they picked it up and they were carrying it, and it broke one of the guy's arms off. So and then we glued it. They fixed it, and then it ended up being a disaster. And then they fixed it, and then it got damaged another way. It just got dropped off of a shelf or something. And I swear to God, Mike, there were pieces everywhere. I'm like, we can't fix it up. And this is before the finals. So Amy, who's in the finals, actually found the exact same trophy on Amazon.
Really?
And looks just like it. And she found it. And Amy purchased it on her own. And Janelle painted it.
Really?
Ball. And they put they wrote all the names back on it that were on the original ball. Oh. And I think we still have the original trophy.
Yeah.
But now I think this one's actually a more heavy duty trophy where, if these jokers had it again, I mean, they were treating it like a Stanley Cup. I mean, it was
that's exactly what I was thinking of, because there's been several Stanley Cups with dents in it and stuff.
Exactly. They were literally treating it like that. I'm like, oh my God, these guys. I mean, they were taking on the turf every time they worked out, saying they were champs. Then the year that we got dropped out by COVID, they said they were still the champs because they were a 2-year defending champs because they hadn't lost that year because they were still in the final 8 that year.
Right.
So they were like, well, we're still champs. The tournament's canceled. We're still champs. So,
it's technically true.
So that's how it ended up working out. And so we have a trophy that actually is together and it works and it's not broken.
That's a great story.
We did joke around if Brownstown won, we were going to give them the old trophy that's in a Kroger bag. And here you go.
There you go.
You put that on your shelf. But we have a trophy though.
I was looking on what I'm doing is a tail of the tape for each one of the teams just to kind of spotlight how many workouts they've done and when they started their initiation and stuff. Yeah. I've got pictures of all 3 teams except for Taylor and Ciamataro. Is that how you pronounce it?
I'm not sure how you say her last name, to be honest.
Yeah, Ciara Mataro, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Could you ask one of your pros or somebody if they happen to have a picture that I can just?
I'll ask Janelle. I mean, she should have taken pictures of them because I know that Angela worked out today, but I'm sure she would have taken a picture of them at some point. Because we always try to take a picture of our teams beforehand. So I would think that Janelle has a picture of them together before one of the workouts. So I'll message her and I'll shoot it to you when she gives me one. I'm sure she has one.
Perfect. What's his name? Taylor didn't have a innovative team name. They just use.
They always had the shake and bake, but yeah. I think that now he was at the end. We didn't have I think he convinced. I think him and Angela's kids go to school together or something, so they know each other. So they have worked out. They literally work out next to each other a lot. So that's kind of how I think, and they have this around the same pace. So I think that's how he ended up convincing them. Like, hey, you want to do this? I want a partner. I want to compete. But yeah, they never did have a name this year. So I don't know if he just didn't want to come up with one since he had a name with John, and
right.
They've been co-workers and buddies for all those years, and
yeah. Well, either way, man,
it's worked out for them. It's worked out for them. So
yeah, and for him to make the finals for his second time, and then Jessica, it's her second time too. There's no mistakes. I mean, and it's funny because him and Jessica competed against each other before. I mean, they were in the finals against each other too. It wasn't just she's made it for the second time he has. They were actually against each other in Brownstown, but each with different partners. That's a good point.
And each with different partners too. So
yeah. And then Amy and Corey have something to prove too. So it's going to be pretty ruthless. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what, you know, Amy was just telling me that the only thing she cares about is good form. You know, she wants to win, but she's like, all I care about is going to have fun and blah, blah, blah. But Amy's got great form. So she's one of my real, I mean, not that all my pros don't, but she's one of those real sticklers where she's really about it. And that's a lot of times the same thing with her, where her workouts are not that she can't do well, but again, it's more, I want to have a good workout. I want to get the benefit of the form first. You know, all my pros, remember, all my pros are old. You know,
form first.
All my pros are old. We got to have good form. We're all over 40, with the exception of Ryan. You know,
are you all over 40?
Yeah, all my pros are over 40. Well, the exception of actually, I think Petronsky's 39. But yeah, and I got 3 over 50 pros. You know, me.
Well, we're all getting older now. Cyphus is 12 years. When we started, I was in my 20s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. So, so we have all older. Well, and Broski's a pro and helps out now as a pro with us too. And Broski just turned 40, I think. So, so I'm excited for it. Like I said, I've been to Brownstown before, so I know that my teams can do it. But again, they're, you know, it doesn't. Everyone's got a chance in this one, because it's not like you know, they're all coming in. Although the teams that from the bracket obviously made it in just, you know, by the competition, because of the new rules, you know, because my 2 teams that are actually there had the 2 highest point values no matter what across the board, whether they were in the finals or not. So
they have a certain advantage for sure. I don't want to say advantage, that's not the right word, but if you're just looking at pure numbers, which is what it's based on, they maybe they're the higher seed, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. And Amy's team's got the lowest of the 3 averages. Of
that's what I was going to ask. Okay.
Yeah, so she's got the lowest of the 3. She's under 800. The other 2 are over 800. So.
Well, it's going to be great. So,
I do like the finals workout. Like after I messaged you, I looked at the workout and I was like, you know, that it still looks hard as hell to me, but I mean, not that it's not hard, but you know what I mean? But it looks like a good workout where, I mean, I actually wish I was in the finals, because I do kind of like this workout.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to do
MFT. It. There's nothing that like completely, I mean, there's going to be ones that deplete you, but none that are like, oh my gosh, I can't do 2 inchworms and a single leg.
Well, the only thing I would not literally do on this thing twice is hack it. Just so you know, I mean, it's like that Hackett's my nemesis task. I just hate Hackett. Yeah, I can do it.
You hate Hackett. Oh.
I hate Hackett. I love Diablo. I hate Hackett.
That's actually why I named Hackett is because I love Diablo, and I was like, if I like 2 legs, I'm gonna like 1 leg. But
yeah, I do not like Hackett. I don't mind reverse bovine. I just, for some reason, I watch Lefebvre do Hackett, and he makes it look super easy. But me doing Hackett is painful. I mean, I can do it, but I don't get a good pull. You know, 45 is difficult. It is what it is.
It's tough to get a rhythm for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And so I've never liked Hackett. I think one time in Turf Wars, I think I don't know how much time left, but I think I had like 45 seconds, and Frank G was in the workout with me, and it was one of the years we won, and I had to get back with I had done half a hack, and I had to get back. And I remember Frank screaming at me. I think I got half a Hackett done in like 35 seconds, which is like unbelievable for me. It's usually, and it was like, I don't know how it happened. I remember Frank just yelling at me, like, because he never stops working out to the last second. He never will take a break off of a task. You know, even if he's halfway through a push and the timer goes off, he'll finish the push, or if there's 10 seconds left, he'll start a run. You know,
talk about inspiration, man. He's incredible.
Yeah, he just hit 70, so you know.
Wow. Still doing it.
Still going, so.
That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna end it here just because I want to keep it short and sweet. And
are you gonna be there Thursday? Are you being there?
Yeah, I'll be there Thursday. I was showing the girls this. I got like a little headset. Okay. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to essentially be a pro and kind of officiate at the same time, and kind of give some commentary as to what I'm seeing on the turf with form and stuff. So it'll be cool.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you Thursday, man.
I'll see you Thursday. Thanks for calling, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah, bud.
Bye.